Marketing Power Team. They've got an acronym, but it's a 5-letter acronym, so it doesn't roll off the tongue very well. We're here to talk about ourselves and what we offer, but we're doing this in a sort of a case study type approach, where we look at two clients, two types of businesses, one a new business and one a growing business, and look at how each of us have or could contribute to those types of referrals that you bring. So I'm going to introduce the first study that we're looking for is a brand new business. Some of you may remember Dr. Patel. He was a visitor to this group and introduced to us through Hugo Moniz, our past fitness guy. Dr. Patel took over a new business in Burlington, Dundas, and Sutton Drive in January. Took over an existing medical space. It wasn't being used very well. I put in limited patient base. He later told me it was pretty much zero. They do operate as a walk-in clinic and as a traditional family doctor's office. And one of the unique features that they have is that they do have an on-site laboratory and a pharmacy. So, as a new business, what does he want to do? First year, he's got to establish his business systems, administrative, financial, back office type things. Secondly, and most importantly, is grow the revenue. And he's going to do this through new patients, new services, principally, and for those what are called OHIP type services, insured services. But he's somewhat unique, and he also offers uninsured services, some of those add-ons that doctors or families and patients are looking for, like 24/7 access to a doctor on a video phone, so through Skype calling. So those are some premium services that he's interested in doing. To help him deliver this, he needs to find good employees, doctors, like we all have to find good employees. And he's looking to provide a great or unique customer experience. Help him accomplish this, he's got to do some marketing and advertising. He's been to all of the doctors in Burlington, talked to every single one of them, looking for their overflow, and then the traditional website, social, print, radio, signage type advertising that he needs to do. That's his strategy for growing his business first year. This is his office. He's taken over the N2 units. Never disregard the names up there. That was kind of a concept of some of the partners he was working with, some of who are no longer there. So we got involved with him to help him accomplish two of his objectives. One is to get found. He's got patients and customers coming to him. He needs to make their experience easy, be found easy, be visible, make it obvious for them to know where they're turning off on the street, where they're turning into, and once they get into his parking lot, how to get into his office. So we've done that with some temporary signage. This was put up quickly last winter just to get that name flipped over from the old business to the new business. He's put up some sidewalk signs to show people where to go in and hopefully to attract some of the drive-by traffic. We've gone in and done some exterior window film, so this was put up in the summertime, big prominent branding so that if you're driving by, you know where you're going. Future concepts for him down the road when he's maybe got a little bit of a success under his belt will be to do some illuminated signage outside. For his patient experience inside, patients need to know where to go. Which patient room are you going to? And he's going to advertise his uninsured services. So we put up some posters and displays for him, as well as some privacy film. He's got this glass window behind his reception. He weighs patients there. Not everybody wants to be seen while they're being weighed. So just put a little bit of frosting there to give him that privacy. So while I was there, we were talking about, I'm blitzing, notice in that terms of customer experience, there was some salt through the winter time that needed to be cleaned up, and I thought it would be a great referral for Carolyn.
Yes. So I went to see Dr. Patel, and he called me to come into his office. I went the same day, and within 24 hours, I gave him an email contract of what we would do. I included what his monthly cost would be, what we were going to clean, a cleaning pass sheet, what days of the week we agreed that we would clean, and the cleaner's name that would be cleaning his office. He's also told us we could leave supplies in his office. So I said, we'll leave our supplies and our equipment, and you're more than welcome to use them between visits as you need. So what I really provided him was a very quick turnaround, no question what we were going to do at a fair price. And I went to start date. We started it that same week. So you know the value of a doctor's hour. So within 1 hour, he had cleaning services put in place. So I was quick, dedicated, and fair in market value price. So while I was there, I was also thinking, how is he gonna get to this great big area in our community called the Orchard? He has great signage, and it's gonna be all clean, but people always don't come up that way on Dundas. So I thought, who can help him get his story out in the newspaper or in print or however, and I thought of Shauna. So then Shauna, she here? And
Yes.
Shauna, there you go, she came in the picture.
Hi, so we would partner up with the client just to provide some advertising and marketing solutions for the client and design some specifically crafted program to meet his business goals. So we would provide some valuable insights and relevant data and market research so that he can develop a proper plan for him. We identify the key business goals for his business, and it starts from a really fantastic conversation with the client, nailing down on all, doing the research and speaking to the client about what their needs are. We will provide a customized marketing plan and recommendations to address his goals, and then we will report on his results weekly. Some of the things, these are some of the resources that I have access to, such as a competitive analysis of like industries in his area under the solutions tagline there, so we can show him what other people in his industry are spending on marketing and where they're spending on marketing. So it kind of allows him to compete in that space and make those make some decisions, and also show him where the opportunities are in different key segments in his industry, provide valuable market information and return on investment and these types of things. So I'm happy to share more of the market research results and marketing ideas with the client. When we meet with them, we learn a little bit more about them, and we can provide this information to them so they can reach their goals. So let's have a conversation about all this marketing data I have access to, and it's all free. So, and we have Leona. Thank you.
So now we're going to scenario 2. We're looking at a growing business, and a growing business has very different needs, and so it allows the business services and marketing team to provide a different approach. Oops. There we go. So our scenario and our client is Lemonwood. They are an upscale retail shop. The target audience is going to be primarily female or men who really want to make the females in their lives very, very happy with cashmere, shawls, and clothing. And so they have a few unique challenges, and that, like any other retail space, they're looking for new clients, they're looking for repeat clients, awareness of who they are out there. There's a lot of competition, but there's also a secondary issue in that they are in downtown Oakville, and so they're having to deal with the construction that's going on in Lakeshore. So this is a problem for them. They actually have 2 permanent locations. Their flagship is in Oakville. There is another location that's in Toronto, and then they also have a pop-up shop in Fort Carling over the summertime. So they're a happening business. So from my perspective within HR, luxury goods is an area I'm very comfortable with, but we have 2 big challenges, and the first one, signified by the golden handcuffs, is retention. How are we going to keep our key staff? The staff and the connection of the staff to the clientele is really what's going to drive the business, is going to drive loyalty, and is going to get that word of mouth referral and that repeat business. So that's one segment that I'll be working with Lemonwood on. The secondary one is about hiring. They need to have qualified staff. They're coming into their busiest season. One area that I believe has not necessarily been exploited at this point is to tap into the community colleges with fashion programs. So there are some budding fashionistas that are going to college right now who would love a flexible work shift, and so that would be one area to explore for them. And thought also Lemonwood has an opportunity to build some additional awareness just through creating some synergies with the other local businesses and seeing if they can maybe go to the city of Oakville and see if they can get a part of the parking lot segregated at Oakville Place and run a shuttle back and forth between Oakville Place and downtown Oakville. That would bring clients, and that would also allow these new staff members to get there, and it would put the owner of Lemonwood into a good position. And that is, of course, something that I'm sure that social media representative will be tapping into. But while I was there, I noticed, the IT issues, particularly because they have a multitude of different facilities, and there's so much that's going on. And so that's where Don comes in.
Okay. Push that button. So the first thing we look at when we have the challenge of having an Oakville location and a Toronto location is that how do we connect these two offices? First of all, do they need to be connected? And the other one is, if they do need to be connected, how do we actually provide that? So the first thing we look at is the ISP, or the Internet Service Provider, to make sure that they are using the correct ones, in the sense of, we sometimes can do some, provide some synergies. For example, if we use Bell for both the Toronto and the Oakville location, asking the correct question to the right person, you can get some discounts, so there could be some cost savings for there. The challenge is the pop-up location in Port Carling, that they still need to have it. They don't have point-of-sale services, whether it's on a cart, they still need to have the services. So how do you get contemporary services and still get the information that they require back to the home office in order for them to generate sales reports, DSP, all that other kind of information. If we just look at the Oakville and Toronto location, as simple as asking or looking at the modem that the provider provides, even just asking for a new upgrade could get them a 30% increase in performance just by changing the modem. I've done that many times, and it is unbelievable. The providers will not just upgrade just because they can. So that concept of, we call it LAN or WAN. So a LAN is local area. So in the Oakville office, they create a LAN by connecting all of the computers together. The computers can also be connected for the network with the printers and scanners and whatever else that they need. But we can also create something called a WAN, where if the owner happens to be in the Oakville office, they just sign into a computer and they have everything available to them. They have all of the Oakville locations information, they have the Toronto information, and the Erie settlements, they can have the Port Carling information. It can all be right at their fingertips. They don't have to sign in and send an email to somebody to then upload it somewhere else. The synergies that can be had by having it in the WAN in this location could be priceless to them, because they could be doing a lot of extra work. It is unbelievable how much you save them. We look at the point of sale terminals. There are a few things, but today's point of sale terminals, probably on the Port Carling one, or the pop-up. POS terminals are basically just a computer with software running on it. So all the same issues that run into on a computer will still be on the POS terminals. So there's still Windows underneath it. They still need to have the updates. You still need to be secure. So we want to also have a look at that. And the biggest thing where most of the issues will generally come into is the local computers that are in the LAN. So make sure all of those computers are up to speed, that they are the sort of the most efficient that it can be for their budget, as well as making sure all the Windows updates and how all the connectivity, they all talk to each other politely, and they all play fair in the LAN game, which is sort of the way that I look at it. And the biggest thing, as all my infomercials are, is where is this data being held, and where are the backups? Do they have backups? Are they doing backups? Is it on the cloud? Is somebody bringing it home on a USB device? There is no right or wrong answer. Actually, there is a wrong answer. Not doing backups is the wrong answer. You have to be doing it somehow, and there's no wrong answer on how, as long as you are doing it. So once I looked at this, there was a need for some extra, especially on the pop-up, some need for some social media presence. And David would be introduced at this point to provide the following information.
Yes, thank you, Don. Okay, so I'm going to try and make this quick because we're slowly running out of time. But from a social media standpoint, my process in this situation and what my recommendations would be would boil down to 3 broad themes: organic content, campaign planning, and campaign launch. So the first thing I would do is I would take a look at their social media channels, and I would just simply look at, are they posting, when are they posting, and what are they posting? In this case, I took a look at Lemonwood, and I saw that the large majority of the content, organic content, so that means it's not paid, that they are posting is promotional. So almost all of it is pushing some sort of sale, some sort of promotion, and the customer to buy their products. So what they're avoiding in this case is building a fan base, which is what my recommendation would be for a company in this situation, is build a local fan base through educational and value-based content, which is what social media allows businesses to do that other mediums do not. So I put together a post here very, very quickly, which is Cashmere Care. So this is educating people that may not have cashmere, maybe in the market for cashmere, but are not sure how to buy it, how to take care of it, and it's providing value. This is how you care for your cashmere. Come in and buy it, right, from us. The second part is campaign planning. So now we're getting into the paid side of social media, actually running ads. And what you're going to do in this stage is 3 things. You're going to establish a clear goal. So in this case, it's probably going to be simply to sell clothing online through the website. Next, you're going to test a strategy. My recommendation to test a strategy in this case would be direct to consumer. So running ads on social media that are directing people from the ad to the website where they can purchase the product. And finally, my assessment with them would be to get very clear on who their target audience is. So who is that avatar? What do they look like? Where do they live? What's their age, etc. And that leads into the third step of the campaign, and that is campaign launch. This is when we launch ads, okay? So here, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna target a very broad, cold audience. So quite simply, geographic location, gender, age, and maybe a few interests. People buying $300 sweaters, you can probably guess that they shop also at Whole Foods. So that might be an interest that you test. And then next, once you're running that ad, reaching that cold audience, you're growing your engagement. You're growing the audience of people that you're reaching with your ads. Now you can start to retarget ads to those individuals. They're now a warm audience, and they're more likely to convert. So that would be my recommendation for Lemonwood. And next, we'll go to Matt Sherb for the direct marketing.
The most important part is obviously cards. As we talked about Cashmere Care, I was working with them, and we were developing campaigns because they wanted to make sure that people knew that they were here to stay. If you've been downtown, you know that there's a bit of a mud heap downtown right now, so they wanted to have a here to stay campaign, a client thank you card, stay in touch, pop-up shops, and upcoming sales. Because this is what downtown looks like right now. I don't know if you've been down there recently, it is a mess hole. So they can't get clients down there. So what they were doing is putting together some here to stay campaigns, mailing that out to their clients, and tying it together with a Christmas sale. Or if the client came in, we put cards together where they were able to stay in touch with the client with information from the employees. And following on to the social media campaign, how to care for your cashmere purchase were all elements that we put together. So these were things that they could send out to their clients because they were with a high ticket price item. So here to stay is one of the things that we took a look at, because ultimately we were the tangible social media for them. It's the tangible touch. Fully branded, integrated for the contact database. The next phase was actually doing social media integration with a contest where they were able to actually put a contest out there where people could see something, they could get some kind of an integration with that. And with that said, we already have one of our most wanted members for our power team already here, graphic designer. Thank you so much for joining. We're so glad you're here. But we have others, commercial realtor, printer, promotional products.
That's it.
That's it.
We're done.
Great done.
Thank you.